Hey Virgo, welcome back to Love from a Leo. I'm Tay, and this is your May monthly reading for the year 2018. So let's jump in, but before we start, I would like to let you guys know what crystals I'm using for this reading. So first we have serpentine, clear quartz, and malachite. I do have videos on some of the crystals that I have mentioned. I have a crystals playlist as well, so I will link that down below in the description box. Let's go ahead and jump to the reading for my Virgos. So when I was meditating with the Virgo energy for the month of May, I did get the message that it's a time where Virgos need to go with the flow. Follow your curiosity and just keep going until things start to work itself out. But also gathering information, understanding information, and being smart about, what's to come, but also just letting yourself learn throughout the process. So in your past energy, we do have the Virgo card here, the Hermit card. So this could mean that you're feeling not like your normal self. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on, how things are going for you. But it also could mean that you're feeling a lot more social. You're feeling like you want to get out there more. Maybe you're trying to communicate with lots of more people more than you usually do. And you're just feeling a lot more social. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. So in the past, with the Two of Wands in reverse, this definitely means that there's things that you didn't expect that are happening, and you probably have to kind of play by ear and figure out what's the next move for yourself. So it seems like you're having delays in being able to find your balance when it comes to your life. It doesn't mean that things are chaotic, but things may feel chaotic for you. So maybe even if they're not looking like that, or even if you have everything under control, you're still at a point where you're kind of trying to find balance, but it's being delayed, whether it's because someone let you down on something that they were supposed to do, or you're just having a hard time finding that for yourself, because you have a lot of responsibilities with the Ten of Wands here. You have a lot of things that you have to take care of, whether it's for yourself or for other people, and it can be stressful at times. What responsibilities are in the way for... Okay, so we have the Gemini card, the Lovers card. It could be a Gemini, or it could just be your relationship or the relationships that you're a part of, taking a lot of your energy, taking a lot of your time, and you're just feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like there's a lot on your chest, there's a lot on your plate that you have to deal with. And it could be something that's making you feel less than secure, or maybe you feel like you're not able to focus on yourself. With the Five of Cups here, this is what you were feeling. I think you also have the need to want to connect, but maybe there's a controlling force that won't allow you to do so. And that could be that other person in the situation. What's delaying, Virgo? Ten of Cups. Yeah, something that takes your joy, something that makes it really hard for you to find balance for yourself. Just delays. It could be in a domestic setting. So someone who is a domestic partner, or someone in your family, they have a tendency to maybe make decisions for you, or maybe they make it to where it's really hard for you to feel like you have control over your life because they are controlling. And so every move you make, it's like you were constantly making sure this is the right decision, constantly trying to see if you're doing the right thing. But because you were not making those decisions for yourself and you were making them for the happiness of someone else, this is where this karmic energy is coming from. This Wheel of Fortune card in reverse. This is why things are starting to happen where you're having these delays pop up. Remember, we talked about that last month. Whenever you're a Virgo and things are off and you still continue to go with the flow with that situation, a lot of the times your karmic payback will be something that you despise because you already know what's going on. Now, if you don't know, that's a different situation, but I do think that you take a lot of time to think about what this person will feel about the decisions you make, and then whenever you make the decision based on what they want instead of what you want, it causes these karmic things to pop back up. So you have to be honest with yourself and come clean about things that you are doing wrong, or also maybe there's someone around you who needs to come clean about what's going on for them. And it could be that Gemini or that person that you're in a relationship with the Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they're thinking without doing, or you're thinking for them so they don't have to do much. So that's the past energy, okay? So hopefully we're moving away from that. But if you have not moved away from that energy, let's get some advice on how you can better that situation. The World card. Saturn. So restrictions, that's what Saturn is about, restrictions. So if you know that you need to restrict yourself from this person, do that. But this is also more about time. So if you know you spent so much time working on the situation and nothing has changed, nothing has gotten better, this is the time for you to look back on all the things that you've learned from this situation. And with all of the things that you have learned, that should be enough to tell you that, okay, this cycle of my life needs to be over. The cycle of my life is finished. I'm done with this part of my life. And it's time to move on to the next phase. But you have to be honest about that. And universe will kind of push you away from things once you have learned what you needed to learn. But the thing is, a lot of people will learn what needs to be learned from a situation that was toxic or bad, but then they stay in it. So it's like you learned, but you're staying a part of it. So that's why it got worse instead of getting better, even though you have worked on yourself. If you're staying around a certain situation that isn't getting better, then you're not really working on yourself. You're just kind of like giving yourself a pat on the wrist instead of disciplining yourself and moving away from it and really truly improving yourself, correcting yourself. So let's go ahead and move to the present energy. We have the Hangman here. So what I like about the Hangman card, this is saying there's not much that needs to be done at this particular time. It means that you are able to kind of take a step back and really assess the situation. Like I said, this is going to be a month of assessing the information that you were able to gather, and then kind of just go with the flow, right? And so that's what the Hangman is about. Now, when going with the flow, it does not mean that you just let everything happen to you that shouldn't be happening. It just means you don't have to make a clear, conscious decision just yet. You will, though. The Hangman card to me always signifies that a decision will have to come soon. But right now you're looking at everything that's happening and letting it fall into place so that you can make your decision. So make sure you're being very aware. Make sure that you're being psychically clear about things, and make sure you're being honest with yourself and others. They don't have to physically know what's going on, but you need to let yourself know how you feel about certain things whenever things are happening. Kind of like taking spiritual notes about what's happening in your life for your greater good. Virgo, you're not happy with something. You're not comfortable with something. It could be an earth sign, a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. So the first thing that I thought when I saw that the Queen of Pentacles, I'm thinking you're not comfortable with yourself in the position that you're in. I think you want more for yourself. I think that you are at this position where you're like, I know better. Now, the bright side of things, you financially, things are okay. Like, you're fine financially. There's nothing too detrimental that's happening. And I think you know what you have to do in order to keep your finances intact. So even if you have lost more money than you have been getting, you know what you have to do in order to be okay. So that's not the issue. I think you're not comfortable with the position you're in as an earth sign because of an image thing or a self-esteem issue. So yeah, it's like the Three of Swords in reverse is better than the Three of Swords upright. So this is kind of like tough love. It's a tough love situation. So it's like now you know the truth about something, or now you know why you're feeling the way you feel. You're ready to face it, and now you just have to be ready to dust yourself off and get on with your life. You already knew what was going on, or now you know something that's going on, and so instead of it being like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sad that you had to go through that. It's like someone saying, okay, well now you know, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do to improve yourself? And so that's the moment that you're in right now. So even though we have this Hangman card, this Hangman energy, yes, right now at this very moment, you can kind of lay off of yourself. You don't have to be so strict on making a decision or a movement just yet. You're at a moment where you feel uncomfortable, and it has something to do with yourself. And so being that it has to do with yourself, you have to make the decision when it comes to do something different, to do something that fits what you see yourself moving towards. Otherwise, there's nobody to blame but yourself. Okay, Virgo? And so that's really the situation where what's happening. So let's see why you're uncomfortable. What are you uncomfortable with right now? Okay, so you're uncomfortable with maybe the way you have been dealing with your money. You could also be uncomfortable with the way things are going with your finances. Maybe you're even upset about what you've been spending your money on. Yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you're just being a little careless with your money, or maybe you feel like you weren't focused on it, and so now you feel like you're kind of having to deal with those consequences at the present time. But from what I feel, it's just because you weren't being logical. And I think it has all to do with the past. It was just a lot going on You had a lot to deal with on your plate, and maybe you dealt with it by spending, or maybe you dealt with it by not paying attention to your finances. And now that things are slowing down and you can really assess how things are looking, you're like, okay, shit, I gotta get my shit together. And there's nothing wrong with that. If anybody can get their shit back together, it's an earth sign. So I think this is what's happening here at this very moment. Yeah, so nothing more to be said about that. Now in the future, we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So you're still going to be dealing with that feeling of I could be doing more, or I could be having more, or I could be more independent. And so we'll get some advice on that in just a second. There's an ex that's making you feel all of this. It's an ex, or it's a person from your past, a person who you guys had good memories with in the beginning or in the past, but that's just not what the case is anymore. This is a person who really gets you off of your A game. This is a person, I do believe, from the past situation that you were having. They really make you unfocused. They make it to where you don't make the best decisions, or you don't trust your decisions by any means. And this person is manipulative as hell. This is the card of like a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a person who's really mean. This is a person who's manipulative. They use you. They don't really have, they could be a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be an air sign. It could be. But this is like a person who's just really harsh. I always feel like Virgo, it seems like a lot of the time, signs like you all get the shittiest people. Like, you guys attract them, and I guess it's because you have such a pure light, so that it's really easy for them to, if you're not balanced and you're not protected, it can be really easy for them to feed off of that. You know what I mean? Because you're so nurturing, you're so helpful, and you're so insightful. They can get so much from you, and then you're left not getting much from them, but them being ridiculously rude to you, or being just tearing you down in so many ways because they don't want you to leave. So that's, again, it's just part of being who you are in the zodiac. Let's get some advice on what to do about this situation. First off, let's see, who is this person? Can I get any signs? What energy for Virgo can I say this sign could possibly be, so it can resonate more? Okay, so the first card I got was Mutable Water, Prince of Cups. So that could be a Pisces for some. Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. It could also be their Venus, so you would have to know their chart to know that. And then we got 7 of Wands, so it could be an Aries, okay? So the main energy I'm getting is Aries and Pisces for the majority. So yeah, it's y'all gotta look out for this person, because it seems like they try to come back a lot. Yeah, and I think they cause a lot of self-esteem issues for you, like where you always have to doubt yourself, or you're always second-guessing yourself, or you stop paying attention to yourself and you focus on them, and then you look back and you don't have much to have for yourself because you've been paying attention to them the whole time. So be very careful with that. Let's see, what about them is so manipulative? Okay, we got 4 cards. So they make you feel isolated with their emotions. So they're emotionally manipulative. They make you feel like you have to help them, or they make you feel like you don't have anywhere else to go emotionally. You can't trust them, and I think that they somehow take hold of your finances, whether it's like literally they take hold of it, or it's like figuratively, like they make the decisions for you. When it comes to your finances. And I think an earth sign and their material success is very important to them, obviously. So if you have someone who is able to penetrate that, 1, they already have a big control on you because you care about them enough to let them do that. But 2, it kind of takes the power away that you guys kind of, you know, manifest, or you guys have created for yourself. It takes a little bit of that power that you naturally have. So it's like just different ways to dominate. So you have to stand up for yourself. Let's get some advice. Let's get some advice. How to fix the situation. Temperance. So Temperance is related to the Sagittarius card. So this is about balance, but also about expansion. Temperance. So the advice, you need to have a spiritual awakening. A time of solitude for some of you is going to be what you need. But even if it's not solitude, a time of spiritual awakening. So working on yourself spiritually is what's going to essentially open the doors for you that you're looking for. It's going to be able to allow you to expand and become the Virgo that you see yourself being, essentially. And this isn't going to be something easy. I think temperance takes time. I think that, but it doesn't have to. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not disciplined, it will take more time. But it's really about finding that balance for yourself, what balance truly is for you. I really enjoyed this reading because I feel like it had a lot of helpful information. This May does not have to be scary for you at all. You have someone who's not the best fit for you around you. And again, it doesn't have to be your lover, but most likely it is. But it is someone who has a lot of control over the things that you do, whether you realize it or not. So you have to, and it's even scarier if you don't think that they have control, because it looks like they do. And so it's like, if you don't see it, then they have an easier way to, do what they want to do. You have more to lose than they do from the looks of it, because it seems like all their power comes from you. So if you can figure out how they're doing that, why they're doing that, or just simply how to get out of that situation and how to find balance for yourself, then that's what's going to be what ultimately is the biggest thing that will help you throughout this month. If you need a private reading, email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com and we can get one set up for you, whether it's about your love situation, if you just have questions that you need answers to really quick, whatever type of reading you're looking for, just ask me about that situation and we can get something started for you. Before you go, I would like to remind you to leave a like on this video if you heard something that helped you, encouraged you, resonated with you. Also, subscribe to the channel so that we can, have a bigger family, because I would love to see the numbers grow. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're notified, because when you subscribe, YouTube does not guarantee to notify you. So if you'd like to help me in any way, those are the ways that I would definitely appreciate. Also, you can donate to the channel. I have all the links in the description below. And if there's any questions that you may have, check the description box first. They're most likely in there. I am Love from a Leo, otherwise known as Tay. And I will see you in the next video, Virgo. Bye.